What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching today, baby. Today we are doing round 2 modifications on Old Blue here. And this is our 2020 Yamaha R1. Got that brand new facelift. And all right, so you can see that our progress, what we're trying to do with this bike is get rid of most of the gray, if not all of the gray, because I think it's hideous to put gray on this color of blue. So first thing we did was black out that front fender. As you remember, that was bright gray, if you can call it bright gray, but ugly gray. All right, and we did the fender eliminator, which I'll show you in just a moment. Got rid of that big honker in the back. And today we are doing, I'm about to show you, ta-da! We are getting rid of these big honkers. Look at that monster truck. Woo, she's big and she's ugly. So we're gonna get some black shorty levers on there today, and I'm gonna show you guys how to install them. Very easy job. I've never even done it, but I can tell you by looking at it how easy this is gonna be. Done a little bit of research prior to this, so let me show you what we have here. So that's the first modification we did. We got rid of that big honker with that baby. So here is our second mod. Here are our levers, CRG, clutch and brake, CRG RC2s. These were about 90 bucks each. And there's our third mod right there. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'm sure you guys can probably guess if I show you that this is the part that goes with it. See if you guys can guess in the comments what's in that box. It's going to be our third mod. So let's go ahead and start on this bad boy. Should be pretty easy, and here we go. Let's start with the brake lever. All right, for this first part, all we need is a 10mm socket. If you can get the kind that has a ratchet in there, ratchet socket, and a flathead screwdriver. Flathead goes on top. Make sure you're loosening this and not tightening the bottom bolt. And just start going. Oops, wrong way. Can't find the hole. Okay. That's on tighten. Bolt came right out. Now we're just going to unscrew this. Set the bolt down. Okay, bolts out. Just like that. Slides right out. Okay. Set that baby down. All right, so on the custom lever, there's this little thing called a cross pin. And you need to make sure that you can see the little plunger sticking up right here. The cross pin needs to set right inside there. So when you put the cross pin, that little hole right there needs to set right into the master cylinder. Excuse me. So it says the directions show you when you put it in, make sure that the hole is pointing there, so the plunger can go, the little lever can stick right in there. So if you go sideways, it's not gonna, if you install it like this to where you can't see that hole through there, it's not gonna work right, obviously. So you need that hole to be showing, and you need to make sure that little lever goes right inside that hole, or else you're not going to be having a good day when you go to use your brakes. So we're going to make sure that hole is lined up. And it's easy to slide around, so make sure you watch it carefully. Okay. She's in the hole. We're lined up top. Make sure that the hole is lined up for the bolt to go back through. We're using the stock bolt to go back through. And slowly start screwing back in place. I recommend screwing it as far as you can by hand to make sure you're not cross-threading the bolts. And that's clearly going in great. That's almost all the way in just by hand. Double check and make sure that that pin, that master cylinder rod is inside that pin and that you installed that part correctly. So now we're going to thread the bolts on the bottom, the nut. So that's already almost all the way back on, and I did that purely by hand. Simple, guys. This is simple. This one so far is simple. So get your tool ready to be on Tighten. Lefty loosey, righty tighty for you guys that don't know your mechanics. Okay, you don't want to harp it on really hard. The stock one wasn't on there. It was just basic regular tightness. So that feels good, that feels right. If you want to be overly precautious, you can turn your key on and check your brake lever to make sure. You can see as you're hitting the brake that the blue is lighting up, signaling that you're using your brakes. Make sure that it's all the way off when you're not on the brake and that it fully maxes out when you hit the lever. You don't need to do that if you know that for sure the rod is in the pin. So that's good for this side, and we are already done. Look how easy that was. This is my first time ever installing anything like this on a bike. So let's move to the clutch side. The second part, you're gonna wanna tighten this. So righty-tighty to bring that all the way in. We want those screw threads to be all the way gone. This is gonna free up the clutch cable and give us a little bit of slack. Okay, so we're all the way tight there. So next, we're gonna pull the clutch cable out of the lever. All right. Hold on. You gotta have this thing lined up over here. So we're gonna back it out just a little bit so we can get it out. Hopefully you guys can see this. So that needs to be lined up right there so the cable can come out. So I'm pulling with one hand. Okay, now that's out of there. All right, now we're gonna boom, slide that right out. Hopefully you guys can see all that. So that released the clutch cable from the lever. Now I've already loosened the bottom bolt, so I'm just gonna set you guys back down here. I've already loosened the bottom bolt, so it's just hand tight right now. It's just a 10 millimeter on this side again. And be real careful, guys, that you don't drop any tools. As my phone's sliding. You don't want to drop any tools and scratch up your bike. So if you're kind of clumsy, then set something down or put some tape, or a towel over this. $10 millimeter. There's the bolt, the nut. Pop that out on the top. There's no screw or nothing on the top of this. And then she just slides right out. Easy peasy, guys. Okay, get the new lever. I'm just gonna install it in reverse order that we just did. So. Okay, very important. You notice this piece in the bottom of the stock lever. So we're gonna take that piece out. Okay, slide that back in the new lever. That will keep the bolt in there tight. I don't believe you can, you can't get that in any upside down ways. Okay, hopefully my phone stays intact here. So we're just gonna slide that and drop that. Dumbass. Make sure there's nothing on here. Okay. Hold on, guys. Okay. Sorry, everything's kind of slippery. Phone's still doing good. Okay, slide that into the place. Put the hole in the top. Bolt in the top. Make sure the bolt goes all the way in until it fits, until you feel it hit the bottom. Then put on with your fingers if you can. You can get I got fat hands, so try to start this off by hand if I can. Oh my gosh, can't get my finger in there. All right, I'm gonna try with my bare hands again. There we go. Much easier that way, doing it upside down. That's probably the hardest part about this, is putting that bolt on upside down. And that's not even hard. Okay, so I got that bolt started. I'm gonna do a little bit more tightening on it. Okay, that's almost all the way tight, as far as I can with my hands. All right, now we're gonna grab the cable. Remember guys, I'm trying to do this with one hand, so this is probably gonna be kind of challenging. So take the little nub here, stick it back in the bottom of the hole. Okay, much easier with two hands. Okay, two hands obviously for that. As you guys can see, we got to line the cable up. The cable has to pull the lever tight, pull the cable tight, just pull it hard with your hand back here, and whoop, slide it right into its place. Very easy. Okay, now we're going to loosen it out a little bit to create some space right here on the threads. And just gotta see where we're at. I like it a little bit tighter than that. Let's adjust it here a little bit. And you'll obviously get to go ride it and fine tune it how you want it. You'll have to go tinker with it and see what you like best for your settings. That feels about right to me. So I'm gonna leave it for right there for right now, and I'm just gonna tighten up the bottom bolt real quick, and I'll be right back. And we are done, guys. That was literally 10 minutes max if I was to do this without recording. Simple. And this is my first time ever doing this. So here's the finished product. Look at the comparison. Ugh. Way better. Plus it's adjustable right here. So go over, make sure you go everything and check your work. God, it looks so much better than that big gray pogo stick. One more step of degrading the bike. So all it was on this side, I wish they would have made a flathead screw slot right here, but all it was is on the bottom, just the same 10 millimeter bolt on the bottom. So all done. I love the adjustability. Right on the fly, you don't have to adjust it by messing with that. So that's it, guys. Easy. The only tools you really need is a flathead screwdriver, and you can either use a 10 millimeter wrench, or if you have a socket set, that works too. When you tighten it down, pay attention when you loosen it to about how tight it is. You'll notice that it's not on there incredibly tight, so you don't want to harp it down really tight when you're putting it back together and snap that bolt. So just pay attention as you are taking it off. And another thing too is turn the wheel to the right when you're working on this side. It gives you a lot more room. And then when you're going on the left side, turn it to the left. It gives you more room. Not all the way on the left, but almost all the way. And then also I would set something down here just in case you drop a tool. You don't want to scratch up your brand new 2020 beauty. Oh my goodness. She sure is a beauty. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day and stay tuned for more R1 mods.